Right? ¿Dónde está? Okay. A ver, chiste, ¿listo?
Sí, mi amor.
¿Listos?
¡Wow!
An S of myself.
You know, in Mexico we say empapar. You know, it's like soak up with as much, you know, sort of love for where we come from. And I do that mostly through food. We cook a lot together. Both of my cultures really are very family oriented, and those are my happiest moments. So I grew up in Mexico. I was born and raised in Mexico City. I immigrated the way my great-grandparents immigrated to Mexico. Now I immigrated to New York. So, you know, when I think about my Jewish identity in Mexico, hadn't really met like Mexican Jewish friends. When I came to New York, I wasn't a minority in that way anymore. And it's like I found my tribe.
So is it home now?
Like New York is home for sure, and we have a really amazing group of friends that have become, you know, like we always talk about, it's like a chosen family, you know? And so I feel grateful for that, but I miss Mexico every day. Every day. Now you're making me choke up. The essence of La Neoyorquina, you know, our purpose is literally to share the sweetness of Mexico. To me, the sweetness is beyond just literally the sweets that we're making, but it's about the culture, about how colorful it is and beautiful and magical, you know. I've also gotten to explore through that a lot of flavors and things from my Jewish roots. Taste test. So this is where we make the paletas. This machine, her name is Leti, and you see, made in Mexico. You can see the pieces of mango that go inside, and this is the mango base. And then this little bath, like it circulates this liquid, and it's very, very cold. And then this is like just a warm bath to... Yeah, cool. And then we dip it. Never gets old. I opened Mijo with my husband, inspired by our son. Running businesses in New York is hard. You have a lot of people that work that are part of that. You know, we like to call them like our family, you know. Sometimes the businesses give more headaches than my son. My sister says parenting is like you fake it till you make it. And I think a lot of that's true in business too. In running a small business, you just figure out, like, my kitchen got destroyed during Sandy, and then with the pandemic, it's never going to be perfectly balanced. You know, it's just impossible. So there's a lot of sacrifices on both ends. Sacrifice time away from my son or away from the businesses, and I just try to focus on gratitude first and foremost. So I'm, you know, raiding my own kitchen to get some stuff for our sopes tonight. Everything except the sopes. Oh, híjoles. 3 botes de mole. Espérate. Le digo que, so much love and work that went into this. Oh my God. This is really like heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Okay. This is I'm gonna get my workout. Hola, mi amor. Cuidado, 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 cuidado. No muevas, no muevas, no muevas. Hola, mi amor. ¿Por qué estás todo cochino? Ven, ven, salúdame. Estás todo cochino. Ay, dame un abrazo.
¿Por qué taparon eso?
Ah, porque están grabando. Luego lo van a quitar. Están grabando. ¿Qué te parece? Dame un beso. Oye, salud. Oh. It was like the high holidays, and I was like, oh, I don't have anywhere to go, you know, like, and I actually don't know how to make any of these recipes. My grandmother's matzo ball soup was always like small and very hard, and the ones here are very fluffy and large, that, you know, to the point that when I saw them, I was like, they don't know how to make matzo ball soup. And after several ones that I tried, I was like, oh, no, maybe my grandmother doesn't know how to make them. Then I realized, like, so I started to, and I said, well, if I don't have a place to go, then I'm gonna make that place. And so I feel that that's where sort of both Mexican and Jewish cultures are centered around the table in many ways, and around family. And so it was like, for whoever didn't have a home to go to or wanted to have one, whether it didn't matter if they were Jewish or not. So I started making these meals. And you know, when I think about sort of my favorite memories in Mexico, they usually revolve around food. And the one thing that was always present were tortillas, you know? It means home. And that's why I knew right away it was the first thing that I wanted to teach my son. And when I get to do, like when we're doing the tortillas or the matzo ball soup or whatever it is, you know, it's... I hope that he has these traditions that he can carry on in his life wherever he goes. And if we happen to have family visiting, like if my siblings are here, oh, then that's just like a cherry on top. I feel like we're in this like this little bubble, you know, like this little perfect bubble together, you know.